beauty spot have been warned not to take selfies with the ponies after a panicked foal fell to its death. Its tourists in Rossilli in Swansea spooked the animal trying to get the perfect shot, which forced it over the cliff.
Should we ban wild animal selfies as a result? Jennifer White from the animal rights group PETA says there is no need to get a wild animal on your Instagram. But Ryan Mark Parsons says selfies celebrate wildlife. Ryan, not when they're forcing newborn foals over the edge of cliffs. That is indefensible.
Well, I totally agree that's tragic, what happened to the pony in South West Wales. But how widespread is that issue? I mean, the fact it's been reported so widely in the press suggests that it is a very rare occasion.
Well, Freya the walrus was euthanised after people in Norway ignored warnings not to get too close to her. Tourists in New Zealand had a close call when they were trying to take selfies with sea lions over there. There's parks that we have, royal parks, that are full of deer in the UK. There's often close calls when people try and get too close to the deer.
And those examples you gave, when was that? When did that happen?
Last year was Freya the walrus. The warning on endangering deer at Richmond Park is all the time.
Right, OK.
Especially around the birthing season.
The rutting season.
So we have the example of the pony, and then we have an example you gave from last year. So that's not many.
So you say just carry on taking selfies with the wildlife because the newborn foal going off the edge of the cliff is a small price to pay.
Well, I just think it's about celebrating wildlife. I think you, Jennifer, maybe even you, Ben, I think you're being negative. Enjoy the wildlife, celebrate the wildlife. I went to Santorini about 3 weeks ago. I saw these gorgeous donkeys, and I thought, you know what, it'd be great to take a picture. I put it on my Instagram, all of my followers loved it.
They're not wild animals, those donkeys. They're very much not wild animals, are they?
If I could just jump in, it's this narcissistic attitude towards animals that is leading to so much suffering because people are seeing them as a photo opportunity, as a plaything. But these are living beings who have their own needs and their own wants. And yet we are constantly seeing headlines where, you know, whether it's this poor pony, whether it's a baby shark or a starfish who's been dragged out of the water, you know, and for what? A social media post and some likes. It is so unnecessary and it has to stop.
Do you have the same feeling, when you mentioned the starfish, do you have the same feeling about anglers and fish?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Fish should be left in peace. You know, no animals should be losing their lives, and especially not for photos.
People need to back off.
People need to back off, respect wildlife. There's so many ways you can appreciate animals without having to have your face in a photo with them. Turn on David Attenborough, watch a documentary.
But I think it's restricting people from the joys of life. I think people like Jennifer are absolute killjoys, complaining about a starfish or a fish. I mean, it's
about
absurd.
Animals who
it's
have lost their
ridiculous.
lives
It's
so
outrageous.
That you can have a few extra likes on social media. You know, there was a case.
Excuse me.
No, if I
You did just say. You put the picture of you and the donkey up, and you got loads and loads of likes.
I got loads of likes. No. But that's
also
what you're saying is really superficial. And it's not just about the likes, it's about promoting conservation. It's about promoting...
the donkeys in Santorini are used for rides where they are forced to take tourists up steep cobbled
I actually walked
steps,
up that...
and they suffer every single day. So that is not a good example for
sorry, excuse me.
So did you refuse to ride the donkey then?
I refused to ride the donkey in Santorini because I know what you're talking about, the donkeys that take you up the hill. I was on a hike to Oya and I saw some donkeys by a shed, so they were not used to take people up the hill.
Well, of course, you know, it's lovely to take photos of wildlife from a respectable distance, but you don't need to be in the photo.
Gary says, I don't think taking pictures of wild animals should be allowed. Dawn says, I think they should be banned. Pauline says, I witnessed a couple filming their child trying to touch cygnets. They not realise that swans can break your arm.